There we go. Got my Osmo set up. I'm used to anamorphic, so this seems like it's not wide enough, but hopefully it is. I'm gonna be showing you guys my tips and tricks and how I shoot B-roll and how I make every product look expensive. That's what we do here at Overkill. I got the guys in here getting some new product together. So we're gonna be taking it out of the box, making it ready to shoot, because we got a photographer coming in like an hour, so we got to get ready so that we can all shoot our stuff. We got Alex here, we got Cody here, the boss is over there. But basically what we're doing is we're trying to get these glasses. This is Gamer Advantage. It's like a new product. We're gonna be shooting some sweet, cool B-roll on it. And we wanna make it look good for photos. So one of the first steps we do is take the lenses out, but we're gonna put them back in for some video. We're gonna do all sorts of stuff today. But anyways, this is our warehouse here. We got all this equipment here we're gonna be using today. We're gonna go through it all to make this stuff look pretty sweet. So the team's getting all the gear ready. We got our set up back here. This is where we're gonna be shooting it. Now look, if you guys are shooting B-roll, you don't need all these crazy lights like we got. Sometimes I turn most of them off because I think simple is better. It's better to be effective, not just overdo it. Even though we're called Overkill, we don't always wanna go over the top and make everything look too lit or too crazy. It's all about simplicity, I think. That's kind of my key when it comes to film. But we got this beautiful table that we're gonna put our products on, and then we're gonna have to set up a background, kind of play with the lights and really make this thing look dialed in for this product. Every product is different. I love blue and orange light, but not every product will need that, so we'll see. Maybe we'll keep this blue and orange, maybe we'll take it away, but our aperture's up here and that's gonna kind of be our key light. So this is gonna come in handy. Of course, we got our tube lights here. These are always great. Everything's controlled with this app, which is pretty cool on the phone, so nobody's gotta fuss around with doing crazy stuff. Look at this crazy contraption Lucas made. We've got, what is this? We've got acetone as a weight for our light. I'm not really sure if that's completely professional, but it's safe, right? It's safe, it's our counterbalance. We just built this new set too, so we haven't done too much here yet, but our plan is to actually put that TV up on that window and make like a cityscape. It should be kind of neat. I mean, hopefully it's pretty neat, but we're gonna get to it. The photographer's coming soon, and then we've got to get rolling so we can make the stuff look really, really sweet. Photos, videos, everything. It's eventually gonna be edited into a commercial, but for right now, we just gotta get rolling and make it happen. And so one of the problems with shooting sunglasses is their reflections. So they told us we could take the lenses out. I think that will help the best, but at the same time, it's kind of cool to see reflections in the shots too. All right, we just got our aperture set up. So me and Sebastian are gonna play with some lights and figure out what is the best vibe for this product. What are you shooting on today, man?
Pretty basic setup. Just the A7 III with my 24-70.
Dude, you ever shot with like a Hasselblad or something?
No, but I've seen I've seen some of the images that come out of that, and I'm just like,
dude, my first job ever was shooting on a Hasselblad as an assistant.
And then they're amazing. I look at the price tags and I'm like, how much do I love taking photos?
Dude, I thought about when my baby's born, I want to rent a Hasselblad, the 100 megapixel X2D or whatever it's called. It's like $400 for like 4 days, but I really want to rent one just so I could take perfect photos of my baby.
Perfect photos.
I know, that's what I'm thinking.
Do the Hasselblads have autofocus?
They do, but they're not great, right? They're probably Canon level. They're probably not great.
I remember reading up on a Hasselblad and it was like, oh yeah, this camera's freaking phenomenal and all this stuff, but it has manual focus. I'm like,
maybe they do. I think the newest Hasselblad does, but it's $8,000. And dude, I was a Fuji shooter at a time, and Fuji and Hasselblad actually share the same sensor. So to some degree, that Fuji GFX 100, that has a better autofocus, and I think it's the same sensor, but dude, those Hasselblads, bro. This is us going through different ideas on how we're gonna set up some props photographer's talking with Lucas now. I think we like the idea of some headsets, different props. We got this gold hand we're gonna use. All right, so look at this white keyboard. This might look kind of cool. That's kind of the vibe. We want to make things look like a gamer set. Jeez, there's lights everywhere. Right now, we've got wood grain we're dealing with. We got a few type of gamer vibes that their website is showing, but we're overkill. We do got to take it up a notch, but like I said earlier, we want to keep it simple and effective. I think that's key when you're shooting any sort of product and you want to make it like high end. Just keep it simple and make everything look extra sharp, extra colorful if you can, but like I always use like a 60-30-10 rule in color theory, if you guys are familiar with that. 60% of the frame is one color, 30%, 10%, and then keeping it simple like that will actually be the most aesthetically pleasing. So I think that's kind of the vibe we're going with right now. We're gonna still set things up, and this is how production goes. It just takes forever. It takes way too long always to set things up, and then once you actually start shooting, that's the fun part. It actually is a lot simpler than the setup, really. The setup planning is always the most time consuming, the biggest headache, but once everything does look good, I mean, it's starting to look cool, but once it's dialed in, then everything just kind of falls together in place. So right after he's done shooting all these photos, then we're gonna do the B-roll. We're gonna use our slider. We're gonna use the probe lens and all sorts of crazy camera tech you guys might like to see. But all right, back to it. We're gonna knock this thing out. All right, Sebastian, what is one photography tip you'd give when shooting product photos?
I would say it's always nice to overexpose a little bit than underexpose.
Yeah, I think cameras do better over.
It's better to fix overexposure in post than it is to fix underexposure, especially when you're shooting raw content. A lot of that information is preserved in your highlights, so you can afford to kind of like bring up your highlights a little bit, so that you can make sure your subject is properly exposed and you can do what you need to do. Because 9 times out of 10, your overexposed stuff isn't going to be your subject, isn't going to be your main subject anyways. You know what I mean? Like, so it's okay to kind of have a little bit of overexposure, just, you know, as long as it's not like blowing your image out of proportion with highlights and stuff, you should be fine.
This is what it's like behind the scenes.
You're locked in, bro. Yeah.
This is him locked in.
Homie's locked in.
None of us actually game anymore. Oh, look at that. Save democracy. That's kind of cool.
Trump skin to me.
That's kind of neat. Playing some off the grid for the photo shoot. Should be kind of neat.
Make gaming great again.
Carter, you want to see what's in this thing?
Oh, let's go check out what we got here.
All right.
All right, so
Fresh from Shenzhen, Keychron Technology. Here we go.
Oh my god.
Ooh, these are nice. Here, go ahead and pull them out.
K2HE.
Teamwork right here.
Look at that. Oh.
These are nice. Ooh.
Oh, we got
Wood grain?
white.
Wood grain.
that's kind of neat.
It's gonna be perfect to
Watch
go
your
with
fingers.
it's gonna be perfect to go with the PMY. Little keychain
Oh,
switch
that's
suckers.
cool, man. That is so nerdy. That is so nerdy.
So we got a bunch of these.
It's pretty
Gotta
cool.
love it. Check this out. So look at this. Ready? These are all the switches that you can get. So basically, you can test them. Oh, wow.
That's my phone.
Different sounds, different types of switches, different feels.
It's a catalog
clicks,
of stuff?
It's a catalog of switches.
That's pretty
You can
neat.
test which switches you like. You can really, we're gonna do some ASMR sound tests for social for sure.
So we're setting up for some B-roll shots now. We got our spinner set up. This thing's pretty cool. Basically, we got our camera on this rig that's gonna rotate around his face. And we got our little aperture lights to the side. They're gonna give us some lighting. And we're gonna get this really cool effect going around the glasses. So we're gonna give this thing a shot now, get a few of these, holding the glasses, things like that. Just a variety of cool little B-roll shots, but with some motion in there. So it should be pretty sweet. So here's what this type of shot will look like. trying this new technique where he's actually holding the glasses and then we're gonna spin around him. But I gotta tell you, it is so hard keeping these things perfectly in frame. But
It's pretty centered, isn't it?
no, that looks, I think this one's gonna be good. What we kind of do is we'll start as far back as possible. It's the little tip here is when you're shooting with even sliders or spinners, use the full range of motion, right? Use as much as you can and then worry about trimming it later. Like we love to, you know, go as far back as we can, all the way out his arm, come all the way here. Sometimes we'll like stop right in the middle and then speed ramp it all the way back here. And then we'll see the other side of it. Or sometimes we'll just let it spin and get like a constant motion. But regardless, when you're using like equipment like this, we love to just use the full range of motion, and it helps us in the edit.
Yeah.
And so yeah, we're gonna try this now. We're doing all sorts of variety. I mean, we did spin of him putting them on. We're gonna do sliders. We're gonna do macros. We're gonna do a probe lens. We're gonna do all sorts of stuff, trying to really maximize the different types of B-roll that we can use. Just got a new package in. We get packages in here all day, every day, numerous times, but it's kind of cool. It is kind of neat to always see some new piece of equipment or gear coming in to shoot. When I do this B-roll, I'm trying to think about like how it's gonna look in the edit. I try to envision the edit always before I shoot. So we like this idea that like it starts with like a spin holding it, and then it'll cut to a spin putting them on, or putting the clip on or something like that. And then maybe we want to change that up in the future so we can use a spin shot to hold it, and then it'll cut to a static shot of him putting it on. Maybe you add like a digital zoom in post. But I try to envision how the shots will look together and then just try to shoot before I do that. Guys, look at this. We're finally brought out the probe lens. This wild piece of tech is gonna go through the glasses and give us this really long dynamic shot. These probe lens shots are not the easiest to like accomplish, but when you do them right, they look really sweet. So the one thing with this lens is you need a lot of light to make this thing happen. So even when we open this up as wide as it can go, it only goes to an f14, which is still pretty dark. But this is why we have all this light. Look at this thing move. All right, so we're gonna do our best here to pull off a really cool shot. All right, so one of my tips on using a probe lens is, even if you can't add more light, raising your camera's ISO to not its peak ISO, like, you know, not some crazy 200,000, but somewhere that isn't too much noise, but high enough. Like we're at ISO right now 6400. We were shooting at 800 to 1000, but so we're gonna raise that up to 6400 and still add a good amount of light. But then what we can do is, because we're shooting in RAW, we can always adjust the image after in post and bring down some of that noise and make it look just as good as all the other shots. But probe lens is pretty cool stuff. So I just finished editing the video. I'm actually using these Gamer Advantage glasses. Since I'm staring at the screen for so long, I think these things are awesome. They really do help. But yeah, until next time, guys.